Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of Professionals Unplugged. I am your host Utkarsh Shukla and let me introduce you to my guest Anahit. Anahit, thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you too.
Thank you so much. So let's start with our very basic question. Can you please introduce our audience to yourself, like who you are, what work you do, anything you want us to know about you?
Oh, yes, great. So, my name is Anahit. First of all, I am a proud Armenian. I live in Armenia, in the capital of Armenia, Yerevan. Very beautiful and picturesque place to live. I am an HR professional lecturing at Fret University of Armenia. I am a certified coach. I am a psychologist as well. And I am a learning and development professional with about 18 years of experience. And recently I was engrossed in a great knowledge management global network. And yes, and I yearn to develop my skills and knowledge in knowledge management. I would like to say that within these 18 years, I have helped different companies to develop learning and development processes in their organizations. And really, I am responsible for some companies that they develop this learning and development in their organizations, because we need to develop culture of learning. And why I am so interested in it, that we need learning for our survival. And it's in our genes to learn every day, and we need it for our survival. Yes, it was a hard work, it was an artist's work for me, but I am doing with some harmony in my heart. And it brings a peace to me when I try to help some organizations to develop this culture in their organizations.
I think that's a really fair point that you have mentioned. It's very important to have a knowledge sharing and all those things related to the knowledge as well, right? So if I ask you, like, what was the main motive? Like, when did you started doing this thing, and what was the main motivation behind it? Like, at what point of your life you thought that this is the part I want to do?
The most important motivation, I started some 18 years ago, and I am still continuing doing it because it motivates me much. Why? Because from the day we were born, we learn new things all the time. In organizations, life is changing and life is volatile world. But when we learn, we become a better version of ourselves. We are changed inside. And so that is why learning motivates me very much. I am a lifelong learner as well. Every day I learn, and so I am involved in different learning processes. So it motivates me because when people are educated, when they learn all the time, they become more humble, they become more polite, they become more respectful. So that is why learning motivates me, and it motivates me when I try to change my environment and people become more better versions of themselves.
I totally resonate with your points. And if I ask you the challenges that you have faced while pursuing, so, and since you're wearing a lot of feathers on your hat as well, like you are also a psychologist and being an HR and a lecturer as well. So how do you manage those things, and what are the different challenges that you face in your day-to-day life?
Different challenges. I can note one challenge that sometimes in my country where coaching is not very much developed. When I started to study coaching and become a certified coaching, many people didn't believe that it will help other people. And but I would like, the most important challenge was that some years ago a war burst in my country, and the situation was very hazardous in my country, and I didn't know how to help different people at that situation. So at that moment, I started to study psychology and coaching because I understood that I could help with my skills in coaching and providing some psychological help to other people. It was really challenge for me because the situation was very, very turbulent in my country, and so I sat one day and thought, okay, how how could you help these people who are survivors of this war? So it was a challenge because I studied and I did my best. Until today, I help many people with providing coaching and psychological therapies to different people who were survivors of the war, and not only.
So if I ask you like how is the situation there in Armenia right now? We know that it went to a war, so how is it right now?
Right now, it's great. It's peaceful, it's comfortable, it's a very picturesque and pleasant place to live. And now it's quiet, and people live in harmony, I can say. And with my skills, I try to make people live in harmony.
That's very great to know. And how your day looks like? Because since you're doing a lot of different works, so how do you manage the load?
Uh, yes, it's an artist's path I am passing, because nowadays I am involved in knowledge management, so network, and in my organization I also work in the Central Bank of Armenia. I do my best that all the people share knowledge all the time. So my work, it starts with lecturing at the university, then my work in the company I work, and so every day I try to develop some new ideas, how we can change knowledge, how can we find in the company experts, and with the helps of some skills we can try to help other people to share their knowledge, because when they share knowledge, and organizations like people, when they share knowledge and they want to keep these people who share knowledge and who learn all the time. And mainly I would like to note that new generation Z, so they like learning, and it motivates them to stay in the company where there is learning. So that is why I do my best that in the company where I work, or in the companies where I advise and consult about learning and development, they share all the time and they learn. They have a culture of learning and they share knowledge, because it also creates trust in the company among people. And then in the evening, so I do some sport, and I also like traveling very much. But when I am in my country, so I work hard, even 12 hours a day, even more, all the time, preparing papers, writing papers, doing research work about learning and development. But then twice a year I go for a holiday, so I enjoy my holidays in my favorite cities. It's Paris or Milan. So, but when I am in my country, I work really hard and arduously.
That's really great to know. And if I ask you, like, you are consulting a lot of companies in order to improve the learning platforms there, right? So, what is the one common problem that you think all these companies are having, and that is being improved by you?
First of all, I would like to know some one common issue that all the companies have. They don't believe sometimes that learning can solve different problems. And even they don't have a separate division of learning and development. It is in the scope of HR, and just when they have ad hoc trainings, so they do ad hoc trainings. But the common problem I face in the companies that there is no culture of learning, which means that managers, leaders, everyone is involved in learning. Managers share knowledge, managers are experts and they share their experience. So this is the main case that all the organizations need to create culture of learning, where learning happens everywhere in the company, in every scope of the company. So this is one common problem, that they really don't understand the importance of learning and development. So this is the main critical issue I would like to note.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair point. Sometimes company believe like investing in learning and all things is not fruitful, but at the end, it is that is what going to keep the employee within the company and make them joyful at the same time, right? That's a very fair.
Yes, yes, really. And sometimes even in different companies, they say, okay, we will hire people who have the appropriate knowledge and skills, so we don't pay much money on learning and development. So there are these kind of companies, but even if they hire someone, so knowledge becomes old, and so they need new, because world changes every day. So it's an everyday challenge to learn all the time. And this is a volatile world, and we need to run to stay at a place, as once Alice in Wonderland told. So that is why learning should happen every day in every company. We shouldn't wait and say, okay, when there is one training, we will go and participate. No, there should be a separate division, department, people who will deal with learning and find appropriate trainings for each individual in the company. So it should happen. It should be a strategy that learning is important for everyone, not only if this is a sale company. Some organizations, they provide trainings only for salespeople. No, it should be for all the people in the company. So we need to be responsible for it. Organizations need to be responsible for it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And if I ask you if you can share any story from your life that you think should be heard, what it will be?
Story. There are many stories,
You can
but
tell
there
us
is
any as
one. Yes, I would like to say that I have changed a lot, mainly when I have started to learn psychology after this period. Myself, I have changed a lot as well. So I would like, once I read a story which I remember every day, even today. There was a story about a wise man who met some people who were complaining all the time about the same question and about the same problem. And then one day this man came and tell a very interesting joke, and everyone burst into laughing. Then this man told again this joke, but nobody laughed and paid attention to this man. After that, so I understood what is the moral, that we shouldn't complain about problems. Once we tell something, it's enough. People are not interested. As we don't laugh at a joke twice, so we laugh at once. It's a very interesting joke, but we laugh once. So this is the same as with the problem. So we need to take responsibility for ourselves. We need to keep all the problems within ourselves and deal with it. So nowadays, so it made me really stronger and stronger, because when we keep complaining, we don't go anywhere in the world. So we need to become stronger. It's a waste of time. We need to take responsibility on ourselves and never be afraid of storms, as I do nowadays. I'm never afraid of any storms, and I learn how to sail my ship, how to say, and I don't let other people do something for me. So I take responsibility, and so it's me, I think, who can change the world, and so not waiting other people to help or support in every issue. Maybe it's the story I have read, and nowadays I really use it in my everyday life. And
I think that's very inspiring one, as you said. It's important to keep changing and know when to stop those things and when to go for a new.
yes, yes.
And coming to your journey, like you have a lot of things that you have done. So, what advice you would like to give to the younger generation that is watching this?
New generation, yes. As I have told, I am a lecturer as well at French University of Armenia, and I do this and I advise this my students as well. First of all, it's learning and development. So, as Mahatma Gandhi once told, he told that we need to live as it is the last day, as we were to die tomorrow. But we need to learn as we were to live forever. So I wish that all the young people, they understand the importance of learning and development every day, and they become lifelong learners and never they stop learning and sharing knowledge, because by sharing they become richer, they become wiser. But there is another advice I would like to give, is that Very often, life taught me this. Life taught me this. I would like to advise that sometimes we are too nice to all the people. So my advice could be that maybe this will sound a little bit weird, but I would suggest that some people stop being too nice to all the people, because when we are nice, because I was that kind of person, when we are nice all the time to all people, so we often get burned at the end, and we need to learn to say no in our life and concentrate and focus on ourselves, because with this we will become stronger. We need to concentrate on the things that really matter to us. So this is maybe because being very nice, sometimes we need just to stop breaking ourselves down into bite-sized pieces in the world and become stronger. Maybe life made me a little bit arrogant person that I tell this, but sometimes, so I can say that it helps in life to become stronger. But I am happy to being so. And so these two things I would advise to people,
Yeah,
to
these are
young people.
I can resonate with this point, and especially with Mahatma Gandhi and the second point as well. Like being always kind can be sometimes helpful. So you know to whom you are being kind and don't
Yes.
the thing. So I think your story of the wise man can again be related here as well.
Yes, yes. And because when I was young, I was nice to all the people. So I would do everything to all the people. But now I understood that now I was wrong. I shouldn't do. So it's my advice.
Sure. And if I ask you about your dream right now, so what it will be your dream or your aim, if you can just tell us.
My dream is, first of all, that there is an end of in this volatile world, again in vague world. My dream is that there is an end of all kinds of wars in this world, and there is an end of famine in the world, that all the people have some food to eat. And as well as from the concept of education, I wish that all the people in the world, they get education, and education is learning is obtainable and affordable for everyone. Because with education, we become, yes, once I have told, humble, respectful, polite. So we need educated people in this world, and world become a better place to live. But for my perception, it is, I wish that I strive excellence in knowledge management and foster more organizations to develop learning and development environment where knowledge management thrives and drives innovations in the companies. And yes, and also my dream is to continue living healthy life and happy life as I do now, by inspiring many, many people to find harmony life, and helping many people, yes, to become better versions of themselves.
That's really a very peaceful dream and goal that you have shared with us. And this last question around, like, you are being a lecturer, right? So you must be dealing with a lot of students there. So do you feel like there is a change in the mindset with the revolution of AI and other things, or how do you see the new generation coming up?
Yes, I would say that the new generation is in the sphere of turbulent sphere, that life is changing, and they are not very well aware of these changes. But yes, they are dealing with these changes. But for me, yes, AI is vital nowadays. But for me, being a psychologist and being a coach, I would say that AI, we can't solve some problems as being human to other people. So that is why, yes, they are involved in AI, they use AI, but I would like they never lose being human to other people, because this will save the world, and we need to be human and to be affected by some so to have feelings. So we need not to lose feelings and being human to other people. So this is, yes, all my students I tell, yes, it's vital. So you need to use AI. AI is the future of our life, but never stop being human to other people and being affectionate to other people.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on this point. And it's very important in this AI world to make sure like you are being treated as a human and you are treating other people as a human as well, rather than just being totally dependent on an AI based answers and other stuffs, right? It's good to know.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Anahit. I think we are done with our questions, and it was really a great experience knowing you and your very peaceful dreams. So keep inspiring and keep sharing the knowledge. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yes, I enjoyed it so much, and thank you so much for having me as an interviewer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anahit.